Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Tribe 9 video. Today, we are going to look at team compositions and what you should keep in mind when making one. With that out of the way, please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell for any upcoming Tribe 9 videos and or maybe other gachas and or full price games that I will be either one making videos of or live streaming. Thank you very much and enjoy the video. How about we talk about the cards first? Then we'll go into building. Then we'll go into combat and tension gauge. Alright, let's talk about the cards first. So the cards are not really that important. However, they can benefit you greatly during your tension phase, which is where your change skills come in. Sorta, sometimes. It really does depend on the card. So for example, this one has EX. As you can see, this one has an EX. This one says it's level 2. This one's level 0. The level 0, what it means with level 0s is that this is done at any time without a gauge level. If there's no gauge level, all of these are active, even during any time during the gauge. So level 0s are active even during EX from what I've noticed. So for example, this one has a buff that says when the operating character executes perfect evasion successfully, the flow of time in the surrounding area will slow down for 0.9 seconds. When the effect is active, consume tension by 30. And this is a tension level 2, right? Which this is actually a pretty good one. I'm pretty sure if you guys have been playing, you guys have the set. You guys realize that when you perfectly evade, you get this black and white slowdown timer. Like if it's an action, like a full-on action game, it's pretty dope. It looks pretty cool, but I took it out as it doesn't actually really benefit me too much. It really doesn't do anything else. So I kind of saw it as a waste. If you're able to dodge perfectly without that, then you shouldn't need that. You should maybe put something else instead. Now this level 0s are level 20, and that's for a good reason. Because this increases my critical damage multiplier by 1.14. And if you're building your characters around crit rate, this will greatly benefit your critical anything. Your critical damage for sure. So I see more use out of this than the other one. It says when the operating character is knocked out, consume all tension gauge to revive characters and grant them beyond death. So if there's one card to keep in your card section during team setups, and I'll show you where that's at, this is definitely one of the cards you want to have. I don't know why this rarity is 1, but this is extremely helpful during harder bosses. So if you die, this can revive you once per round, for example. I mean, you could always restart too. It is actually super fast to restart in this game. So you also have that for going for yourself. But during bosses, this will help a lot. So I recommend that everyone has this on for now. I won't put too much attention into this unless I gave some of this for, you know, just playing the game and getting them for free. But I don't want to focus too much on this because everyone's build for this is gonna look different depending on what characters they're bringing and pretty much what characters they're bringing, because all of these are gonna be random depending where you get them, whether you pulled for them on the standard banner, whether you pulled for them, you know, whatever. So this I really don't want to go over it too much. I just kind of want to explain the basics of how this works. And as you can see, this one's level 20, but it's a tension gauge level 1. And what it does is increases critical rate by 8.26%, increases defense point by 8.26%. When granted Unity, there will be a ×2 effectiveness. What is Unity? Let's check. When there are 3 party members, increase party members' defense by 5%. If one party member is knocked out, this effect will be removed. You don't really get to see your teammates die too much, at least for me. I really haven't experienced much of them dying, and if they die, I kind of just restart. So there's not much there. If there's another card I recommend that you will for sure have around the start or at the start, might be the EX one or this level 2 one. Increase strategy skill damage multiplier and increases ultimate skill. When a secondary attack hits an enemy, grants charm. When oneself is being attacked by an enemy, grants charm. The enemy will enter status where attack point is decreased by 5%. This is great. This is great, especially for tanks. If you have a character and you're maining that character that's a tank that is meant to take the damage, this is good for you. This one's good in general. So this is the other one that I would strongly recommend. Just in general, but it really does depend who you bring. Let me show you why. During this screen on teams, this is where you're gonna set all your cards. All your cards are gonna matter here. So you really want to watch out as to what you set here. For example, strategy skill multiplier, taking damage from an enemy while under Unity, there will be a 2 times. Yep. So you can essentially stack and enhance some of the abilities that you have. So it will help knowing what you want to put here. But I really haven't had the need for me to be like, oh yeah, this is a whale thing. This is a whale thing. But it's not that drastic as much as how you build your characters. This is just to give you an idea. This is just like a strategy thing, yeah? You strategize this around what characters you are bringing and what they do. That's actually just as easy as just that. Whatever you use here, base it off of what team you're bringing. That is it for this. Let's go right into team building. So, first things first is you want to build a team around attack ability, break ability, and support ability. So, you want an attacker, a breaker, and a supporter. That's really it. All supporters are not built the same, as she's a buffer, she's a healer, and he's a tank. That's really as easy as I can explain it. I think that's pretty much the end of the video, and okay, that's it, bye. Just kidding. We still have a lot more to talk about. So after finishing chapter 2, you will unlock this section right here, which is your enhancing level ups things. So this is how you enhance your skills. So just keep grinding, keep grinding, keep exploring, getting that graffiti, clearing side quests. Just do everything that you can. Make sure to look at the stamp book for you to know what is it that you need to be doing, and advance that as much as you can, because that's actually what's going to be keeping you from advancing in the story as well. So just keep that in mind. Once you get here, you're going to be choosing what you want to level up. But this is just really a simple mechanic. I don't think I really need to be so in-depth with this. If anything, I could recommend what you should be going for and what you shouldn't be going for. For your attackers, you actually want to mostly enhance anything that increases their attack. Supporters, you mainly want to go ahead and enhance anything that supports them. And for breakers, actually don't know. I think it's attack, a bit of attack and a bit of support. But just make sure you look through the skills and you will know what you're kind of going to be needing. Besides that, that's pretty much it for this section. This is actually this is the simplest section out of everything. Next to pretty much how you go about leveling up. Because leveling up is supernatural here. Supernatural? Super easy. Not supernatural as in like go. Supernatural as in you just pretty much play the game and you'll just max them out. I haven't used any of my items to enhance their levels. I haven't used any of that. I still have everything. It's so easy. Anyways, let's go to compatible monsters. All right, compatible monsters. Compatible monsters is actually the grinding part of this game. Funny enough, this is the grindiest thing of the game. However, you only need a 2-piece and you don't even level them up. At least so far for me, it doesn't seem like you actually level up the artifact. You just get it and you just kind of stay with it, which is awesome. So the only thing you will be worried about is just the skills. That's pretty much it. That's all you're gonna be leveling up and making sure that you got yourself set. So yeah, just keep the 2-piece in mind and make sure that when you're getting these, you get the 2-piece and you get names that are based on each character's moves. Let me explain that again. When you get pieces of these, you want to place artifacts with names of moves that characters use. For example, this one has ignition, meaning you see this blue one right here. It's called ignition. So whatever move the character has, that's the artifact that you want to be placing. Ignition. And that will level up the skill even further than what it normally should. Because at some point, once you finish this, then obviously it will be maxed out, right? You'll be as maxed out as you can, but this will grant you a boost to your artifacts. Again, things could change when events roll out and we'll see what we get. Because I'm actually super curious how events are going to play out here. I'm super curious how events go in this game. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Now let's go into combat. Just to summarize that again, you're going to be doing a damage dealer, break, and a support. Now, Tsuki has something different. Tsuki has this skill here, which everyone has this skill, right? Everyone has this skill, or chain skills. Chain skills, I'll be showing what chain skills are, but it's basically when you go into those quick time event things where the camera goes all crazy and you're, you know, pinning the other, yeah, just chain skills, all right? Just chain skills. But everybody has this stuff. Everybody has this stuff. Everybody says the same. So, let me make sure that I'm not capping here. Yeah, look at that. What do you know? So far, only Tsuki has that ability. Oh, no, this guy has this ability too. Fighting Spirit. So basically, what this do is, whenever you're enduring a chain skill, I recommend that you don't use your damage dealer first, nor your breaker. I actually recommend that you use your support first. But whatever support character that has an ability like such, perform follow-up attack towards the target and grants enemy hit attention. What is attention? I actually don't know. I haven't read it. Enemies granted attention will prioritize attacking the character who granted them the effect. And Tsuki has Courage, which increases her crit rate by 10%. So, without having to talk too much, let me just explain it during combat to make life easier for you guys. All right, let's go. So during combat, what you want to do is, well, besides this guy probably getting one-shotted, what you want to do is you don't want to mash first and foremost. You want to mash the first time around to build up the heat. Then you want to not kill it. Well, that was easy. So this is going to be harder than I thought. What you want to do in combat is you want to start things off with perhaps your secondary attack, then go into your first, or your first, but you never want to go into your first. Does that make sense? You don't want to finish the entire attack chain during your first attack with your primary attack and then go into another primary attack after finishing off the full chain of your primary attack. If you do primary attack, a full set of primary attack, and you go into primary attack set again, you guys can probably hear my dog too, but I'm sorry about that. But if you go from primary into primary, your skills will actually be decreased. So you want to do a full set of primary, so finish off the entire combo. Then you want to do secondary, or secondary first like I just did. Then you want to go into primary. Then you want to do secondary again, and just switch it up every now and then. It'll be easier if you counter, right? And again, this is what I mean. Suki does the critical thing here, and now I have a blue gauge. As you can see, my blue has gone from blue to red, and it'll go from yellow to none. That you don't want that happening. All right, you want to make sure that you cash out all the momentum that you have. It's called something else, but I call it momentum because I play Monster Hunter and I'm very excited about Wilds. So that's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it momentum because that's essentially what it is. Something I always seem to forget every time I try and make this combat video is the tension gauge. The tension gauge will be at the top left corner of the screen during combat. The tension gauge helps into going into the chain skills, and they're fairly easy to trigger. You just need to break your opponent for the most part and then activate your secondary skill. It's usually what does it for me. You probably are hearing my dog, so I apologize for that. As you can see, the tension gauge is at level 2 and now is at level 9. So everything that the tension gauge does is just makes it accessible for you to go into your chain skills. As I mentioned before, you start with Suki, then go into your breaker, and into your damage dealer. I don't think that order really matters there, as long as you always start with your breaker. Not your breaker, your buffer for the chain skills. I apologize for my dog. And that's it for the tension gauge. It's really that simple. You want to level it up, max it out, or not. Depends on you. Depends on your situation during battle. I like to somewhat max it out. It's for me to use my ult. But it is rather satisfying getting the extreme phase and then cashing out everything. But that's it. That's it for the tension gauge. You want to build your momentum, which is the left gauge. You want to build it up by never repeating the same action twice. You want to make sure you repeat it after you've done a different thing. And parries can help with that. You also do not want to parry everything, as it will be just the same as if if you parry again, it'll count as you just did it. So you want to parry, then you want to dodge, and then you want to parry, and then you want to dodge. It is actually a really easy system. However, this is not what we're used to when it comes to gacha games, and I actually quite like this a lot. I like this system a lot. It's actually fun, and I myself keep on doing the same. You know, I'm very used to some of this stuff, so I also make the same mistake. So I understand. I got hit, I think, so that's why I couldn't cash out my blue gauge. I also cannot hear. So time to cash out. Bam! Yeah, this game's fun. This game is fun once you understand. So you want to go into Suki, your breaker, and that's it. And then last, your damage dealer. That's essentially it for combat. That's all you need to keep in mind. Make sure that for those chain skills, you want to go into your supporter first. That provides an extra buff for chain skills. And then go into literally anything that you want to. Oh god, I came in here again. And yeah, that's actually just it. There's nothing more that I can tell you about chaining skills and or combat. It's not a hard system. It's just, it takes a bit to adjust because you're so used to having to just mash the same button to build stuff. And this one actually doesn't want you to. That's why, to me, I said before that this feels more like a Souls game, where you have to actually be precise. You have to pay attention to the character's moves. You have to know what how to build the character gauge. It's a fun experience. It really is. And with that, I will see you guys later. All right. Good. Bye. Oh.